Poke salad and carry it home. Toast salad.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Elvis is the Man. I came across an article today that my friend sent me on Instagram, Elvis is the Man Instagram. And it was from Classic Rock. I guess Tom Jones recently had an interview with a US podcaster. I believe it was Mark Maron or Maroon, something like that. And it's quite shocking. Let me tell you guys what it was, and then we'll talk about this a little bit Elvis news. And you know, a lot of people, like, after Elvis's death, like, Elvis isn't here to dispute certain comments they make. Even in some videos, I'm like, okay, well, this is what they're saying, but I don't necessarily think it's true. This is their opinion. So Tom Jones says that Elvis became aware that the Beatles broke up on December 31st, 1970. And Tom Jones and Elvis both did a lot of work in Las Vegas. And so Tom tells this story about Elvis, and you tell me what you think. He says that Elvis came up to him and was like, you know, I heard that the Beatles broke up. What a shame. And Tom's like, yeah, I know. They made some great music, haven't they? And Elvis is like, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying they could have been our backup band and played our songs in Vegas. I'm reading this, I'm like, what? Tom Jones says that Elvis says, no, I think it'd be great if we'd have them as our backing band, like replacing the TCB band or something. Tom Jones says, I think that even if they were together, Elvis, they wouldn't have done that for us. This is what Tom Jones said that happened. And, you know, I don't think there's anybody else that can verify or go along with these claims. Like I said, sometimes, you know, certain people, to boost themselves or maybe to make Elvis look stupid and them a little better, they'll say, oh yeah, Elvis said this. To me, that's a stupid comment. I think that the Beatles wouldn't have done that, just because I feel like the Beatles probably at that time thought, oh, we're too good. We're too good for Elvis. We don't need him. We're bigger than him. We're bigger than Jesus. You know, that whole thing, even though John walked that back. And I think that Elvis also wouldn't have done it because Elvis was like, this was his comeback. Okay, he came back 1 year earlier. Like I showed you guys some stuff from November in California, was like, I've sold more than the Beatles, Tom Jones, Elvis. So, if you don't believe me, you can come to Memphis and see all my gold and platinum records. So I think that Elvis wouldn't have done that. Like, he was in competition with them. He wanted to let everybody know that, hey, I'm better than these guys. I'm the king. So it doesn't make sense that he'd be like, hey, you guys want to play as my backup band? Can you even imagine that? Like, I can't picture either one of them wanting to do that. Not to mention that, you know, we know in the letter to Nixon that, which I think some of the things that Elvis said about the Beatles were just to kind of get his badge, because we all know he loved law enforcement and kind of had a little fetish for badges. I think that, you know, but it's partially true. Elvis thought that the Beatles, you know, with their drug promotion and their anti-war, not pro-USA sentiment, you know, Elvis didn't like that, and he was irritated by that. So I don't see the Beatles and Elvis joining forces, even if it was not to replace the TCB band, but even if it was for fun. Like Tom Jones says that Elvis wanted the Beatles in the back and playing for Elvis and Tom Jones, and they'd do a few songs, then Elvis would do a few songs, and the Beatles would play for them. It just seems like a stupid story to me. I don't believe it. But I want to share it with you guys. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. I think it's a fraud. But, hey, what do you think? It's possible, but not likely at all. We'll talk to you guys next time.